Looking back at this semester, there's a lot that we've accomplished. We've stuck our noses in public arguments where perhaps they didn't belong. We dissected a controversy a couple years after it had had a chance to die down. We even found how people communicate, how they disseminate their works in their field of research. We all did this, each and every one of us. Each of us focused on his or her own field of interest or controversy of choice, but ultimately, we all did the same thing. And with each assignment came copious amounts of research, perhaps even an interview or two as well. And all of these assignments and blogs and research and interviews beg the question, what was the point of all of it? What was the point for us? For me? To answer that question, and to specifically address how this class has affected my writing style and my writing approach, I think it's important to understand a few things about me. The last time I took an English writing course, I was in high school in 2008. The last time I had to consider the form I would use in a project or presentation, there had been no 2009 recession, and house prices seemingly only went up. That's not to say I haven't written in the past 8 years. I've written plenty. However, that writing has been mostly scientific with a lot of lab reports and manuscripts where the form has already been predetermined. The only thing that changes is the content. What this class showed me most of all then is how much more than just writing can be. The same content can be presented with blogs, podcasts, essays. And what I've realized is that form that's predetermined in the scientific writing, choosing it is half the battle. And in a class like this with so many small assignments, the best way to choose the right genre is to find time. The biggest problem I had in this class was figuring out how much time to devote to blogs, how much time to devote to projects, and how much time to actually set up and think about what I want to talk about in those projects. In most classes like these with so much extraneous work, I typically focus on the projects and the main activities at the expense of things like blogs and other activities. But in this class, the blogs and the projects were tied so closely together that I ended up completing almost all the blogs. Now, I'll be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of the blogs themselves. But the blogs did remind me how much easier it is to write once you've done the preparation and research in advance. So although the blogs were no fun, and seemed to suck away my time into an endless vortex that could never be returned, their preparation made the final project, in whatever form it took, a breeze to complete. What I found ultimately is that the steps in the writing process that save the most time cost the most time too. So yes, perhaps blogs are good in the sense that they prepare us for the project ahead. But it still begs the question, will any of this affect my writing in the future? I suspect that depends partly on where that future will be. Me personally, I'm planning to start medical school this fall. And although I'm hoping to look and act like this guy, I suspect the residents and attendings will treat me more like this guy. But in terms of writing, that'll likely mean reversion back to the old methods of scientific manuscripts, abstracts, and even things like presentation. And although it'll be familiar territory, there just won't be as much choice in genre or communication method. But as Dr. Armstrong pointed out when I interviewed him nearly 2 months ago, there's no predicting the direction that scientific writing is headed, and in the meantime, gaining skills in areas like iMovie and Audacity can only help. Utilizing these technologies in an English writing course is something I'd never even considered, much less done.